First of all, thank you for coming and welcome to Central Park. My name is Danny from the Philippines. As a brief information about the Central Park, it is one of the most beautiful neighborhoods that you can find in all of Royal Caribbean's Oasis class of ships, and Symphony is one of them. Here in Symphony, there are 3 horticulturists and 1 landscape specialist who are in charge of maintaining this beautiful place. As what your fellow guest had said, this is their most favorite spot on board the ship. Do you agree? Wow. As a background of the Central Park of Symphony, it was built the second week of March of 2018 in Saint-Nazaire, France shipyard. By the way, during the installation and planting, I was on vacation and I came back after the installation from the yard. But the information shared to me by my supervisor was one of the startup team members during the planting said they had a big challenge, and that was the cold climate. Due to the cold weather, all the plants suffered from cold burns. So they had to cover the plants with a cotton paper in order to survive. They had to cover it late in the afternoon, and in the morning, they had to remove again the cover to help the plants get enough sunlight. But unfortunately, 30% of the plants did not survive, and 9 trees died because of the freezing cold. So they had to remove the dead plants and replace with the new ones. It cost a lot of money. They even used the crane to load the trees to replant here. So, and with the help of the contractors and other crew members helping each other, the installation of the Central Park was completely done before the start of the maiden voyage of the ship in Europe in 2018. Another challenge was during the crossing. While the ship was on her way to Miami on October of 2018, we have 9 days at sea from Barcelona to Miami. We encountered 60 knots of winds for almost every day, causing the ship to move water from the pool and splash it down here in the ground, causing again some damage in the plants. We even tied all the trees with a rope to prevent from falling. There are other challenges such as the chlorinated water, the salty breeze of the wind, and even the chemicals we used for cleaning upstairs can also cause damage here in the park. So those are the challenges that we have here encountered in the Central Park. Any questions so far? Yes, ma'am?
So with the newer ships, do they plan it after all the things after they get to the States, or they still do it in Europe?
Yes, they already planted it after when we reach the very, we have lessons now. So.
I think I would have waited till
Yeah, stations, or we call it planters. Planter number 1 starts from the back of the ship and ends here. The very small area there is called planter number 46. And this, and your back here is planter number 45, planter 44 over there, and 41 here in my back. So we have 46 different stations or planters. The Central Park also has 1,500 planter modules, or you can see these black metal boxes. It is arranged like a jigsaw puzzle all over the park in different sizes, different leaves. Some of them are in 1 foot deep and others are 3 to 4 feet deep, especially the big trees. So they are all arranged all over the park. We have an automated irrigation system that scatters and water all over the park. Right now, the watering time is 7 minutes for each planter every other day. We can increase the watering time, especially during the summer where the plants need water most. So we can increase it. So, and we have 10,500 plants here in the ground in deck 8, including the ones in the solarium in deck 15. That's our live plants. We have also 10,200 plants in the living wall on both sides. So making it a total of 20,700 live tropical plants. So we see to it that all the plants are free from any pests and diseases. The most common pests that we have here on board are aphids, mealybugs, and mites. All these we have chemicals that to control them, like insecticides for insects, fungicide for fungus, miticides for mites. All these chemicals are duly approved by the company. So meaning we cannot purchase any other brand of chemicals outside without the approval of the company. With the program of the company to limit or reduce the use of hazardous chemicals here on board. The reason, this is for the safety of our guests, our crew, and of course, for our safe environment on board. So we have to limit or reduce the use of chemicals. By this, we have practiced natural methods, such as by using soap and water to control insects or pests. And even we use a pressurized water hose to kill them. So that is the natural method that we use to limit the use of chemicals. Have you noticed that we don't have any fruit-bearing trees here in the park? We don't have. The reason is the United States Department of Agriculture prohibits any fruit trees on board. It attracts insects and pests and even birds. I know some of you have seen birds here on board. That is when we are docked on board. Birds may come, they may go, they may even stay with us here on a cruise without passports. they are here all along. There is also another sound of the bird that you can hear, which is the recorded sound.
Yes.
It's a bird during the day and the night is a cricket. Yes, that's only a recorded sound, besides from the real birds.
I want to see this bird.
And the next thing is the trimming. We always see to it that all the plants are free from any hazards, any walkways, the walls, for the safety reasons, especially the trees. We have to trim the trees, and if it is too heavy, the branches, if there's storms or any bad weather, it might fall. So we have to trim it and maintain the height not more than 20 feet. Because the trees are only planted in all the modules. So we have to do the trimming. Next is the fertilizer that we use here on board. We have 3 types of fertilizers. We have the Peters water soluble fertilizer. It is similar to Miracle Group. If you are very familiar, it's almost the same. It can be diluted to the water. You can water it through the root, apply it through the roots, and even you can also apply it through the leaves by using a spray. So this Peters water soluble is a complete fertilizer with 20% nitrogen, 20% phosphorus, and 20% potassium. Another fertilizer that we use is the Osmocote granules. It is a slow release fertilizer. It has a longevity period of 3 to 4 months. So we use this fertilizer in all of our trees so that we don't have to fertilize our trees as often. There's another fertilizers or like an energy drink that we use for the plants, especially when we replant them, when we relocate plants. We use this fertilizer, which is the Super Dry. It helps the plant to regain its strength because during the relocation or replanting, they are stressed, so we have to apply this Super Dry fertilizer. It is a good source of energy for the plants. Any questions about the fertilizer? And separate dosing unit for fertilizer application. So there is no problem for watering. You may wonder how we can go out to maintain the tree, to remove rubbish or replace plants. And we have to use the metal basket. The metal basket will be attached to that hook there that goes around the rail, It is attached and it can go side by side, up and down, with 2 persons on board the metal basket. And before we start the job, the maintenance, it will be approved by the safety officer for our safety. He has to check the equipment, the PPE, the protective equipment that we use, the harness, and even the hazards down below. Factors that we must consider before starting the job: the weather, the wind condition, and hazards all around. So it will be secure. So before we start the job, we usually do the living wall maintenance in ports, not on sea days. Sea days is because of the movement of the ship, it is unsafe for us. We just did this coco cake. I think most of you are outside. We did this side replanting. The one in the middle, just replanted. So we did it last week. Yeah, we are top 2 guys. I am one of them. We are just like Spider-Man. So that's what we're doing during the maintenance. So any questions, and I will show you the irrigation system. Properly, after use, they have to sanitize it for their safety. And we have this control panel, the irrigation.